Hello, welcome to Planet Cruise Weekly, where today we are talking about the most exciting event ever, which is the fact that our old ship, the Queen Mary 2, has been beautifully remastered or refitted or refurbished. If you want to find out more, keep watching. So welcome to episode 18 of Planet Cruise Weekly. Now, today it's all about the Queen Mary 2.
Yep.
A ship we both love, we both sailed on. A ship where we kind of met, didn't we? Well, where
this is where the bromance started, wasn't it?
And no, it's an incredible experience to work on such a mighty ship because you moved further away from me there. She is, of course, the only final remaining ocean liner in the world. An incredible ship, still the fastest passenger ship afloat. Took 3,000 craftsmen, would you believe this, Glenn? Around 8 million working hours to build, which was built in France.
Amazing, yeah.
And do you know there was 1,533 miles of electric cabling on board?
I did know that because I can see it on the screen.
Which is enough to stretch from London all the way through to Moscow. Now, of course, she was launched originally in 2004 and has 2,620 passengers, give or take a few. But she never feels full, does she? Because she's got so much space.
She's huge, isn't she? So she's one of these ones where they do have so much space on the decks.
Ships of equivalent size with other lines, you would have twice as many passengers because we are looking at a ship that's, you say, over 150,000 tonnes, so a lot of space for not that many people. Largest ship ever built, of course, the Cunard, in the massive history of Cunard, would you believe that 7 of the Commodores that always sail and are in command of the Queen Mary 2 have actually been knighted?
Really?
Which is quite incredible.
We sailed with the Commodore, didn't we?
We did. Christopher Wren.
He's
a very, very good man. A great Commodore indeed. And the Commodore just means it's their kind of chief of the captains, if you like. Now, they've had many famous guests sailing on the Queen Mary 2 in the past, such as the Blairs when they were in power, the Bushes when they were in power, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, and then also people, proper jobs.
And anyone people like?
Exactly, yeah. So, well, Rod Stewart,
right.
Carly Simon, Dave Shirley-Bassey, Carrie Fisher, Richard Dreyfuss, John Cleese.
Oh, they're all right. Yeah, I like them. Yeah,
and then, of course, Sir David Frost. Right, yeah. I managed to interview twice on board. It was amazing. So it's got a massive, massive following, and people love the Queen Mary 2. And in fact, in 2013, she did a 200th Transatlantic Crossing, and in that time, 600,000 nautical miles travelling between New York and, of course, well, we say London, but it's Southampton. To be reality. 500,000 passengers cruised over in that time, and they reckoned 980,000 scones, 481,000 bottles of champagne, and 644,000 eggs. And how much milk?
235,605 gallons of milk.
All consumed during that time. Those are big stats. If you want to find out what's happened, how she's changed, how she's been remastered, that's the official term, then keep watching. So what has actually happened in the last few days where this wonderful remastering has happened? Well, first of all, before they even started it, there was 18 months of consultation where Cunard actually contacted past and future guests.
Which is amazing because that's what they want, the feedback. People go back with Cunard a lot, and their feedback is important because they travel it all the time, so they give their feedback, they've listened to it, and they've tried to implement as much as they can.
And it sounds like, certainly from the time we were on board, the things that they've actually changed and the things they've improved were the issues that would come up time and time again. Now, the redevelopment of the public spaces has been led by SMC Design. They're a London-based design consultancy. They specialise in maritime design, and they've been involved in all the current queens, so Victoria and Elizabeth, and also we did the refit on QE2 all the way back to Cunard Countess. So great history with Cunard as well.
And I mean, they've spent £90 million.
90 million pounds on the refit, 25 days in Hamburg, in the Blom and Voss shipyard, and a few top hits for you. 6,000 pieces of new furniture, 4,000 pieces of art added, and 55,200 square metres of carpet, which is enough to cover Wembley pitch how many times?
10 times.
10 times.
Exactly.
There's also been 15 new single staterooms added for the first time, which is quite exciting. There are, I think there's 9 on deck 2, which are smaller, and 6 larger ones on deck 3.
Which is good. I mean, you've got to get in quick, but I mean, that is good with the single supplements and things like that as well.
Yeah, and they're part of the Britannia Club. So again, you get a chance of not having a set dining time and a chance to eat when you want as part of the Britannia Club, which is great. 30 additional Britannia Club balcony cabins. They've added a pillow menu now as well to the Britannia class. And the Queen's Grill and Princess Grill suites and restaurants have received a complete redesign and refurb. And in fact, now one of the big things they've done is taken out the waiter stations. And they've created more tables for 2 people and more space in between.
Which is another thing they used to comment on, didn't they, on the ship and stuff like that.
Absolutely, because you get a lot of couples that just want to have that romantic meal. Also, they've changed Todd English, which of course was the very popular at the time for fee restaurants at the back, and they've turned it into the veranda, which echoes back to the 1934 original Queen Mary, and of course brings it in line with Victoria and Elizabeth, and it's great high quality French cuisine, almost kind of Michelin star quality. And the big other thing apart from that is the Winter Gardens, which was always one of those places which...
A dead area, wasn't
it was a bit of a dead area, and we never quite knew what to do with it.
Yeah.
And now it's been changed into this beautiful Corinthia lounge. And not only has it got this gorgeous kind of powder blue and cream colours, you've got these gorgeous kind of sofas that have been set aside, and then food being added in here as well. So there's no menu, but you get these gourmet snacks. So beautiful, beautiful lounge. One of the big things that people wanted improved during my time on board was the King's Court buffet area right up at the top. A big thing they've done is they've removed 2 of the elevators in the centre, which has created a lot more space. They've completely redesigned it. Again, very clever. A lot more open cooking stations as well.
Okay. Which it needed to be. It needed to be modernised, didn't it?
It did need that modern touch. Now, one of the big things that the Cunard and Queen Mary 2 has always been famous for, and I used to read these out in the name at the show, the welcome show at the start of every cruise, is the fact that you don't just have humans travelling on board as passengers, you also have four-legged friends, such as cats and
dogs.
They've doubled the capacity, so they've now gone to 11 small and 11 large kennels. There's a new pets play area, because obviously you see them walking. You actually have a head of kennels who was always called Rex, funnily enough.
Yeah,
and that's no joke, it was called Rex. And they've added in, this is great, as toilet facilities, particularly for the dogs, they've added in a lamppost and a fire hydrant. Now the fire hydrant's from New York, and the lamppost is from outside the Cunard building,
in Liverpool.
In Liverpool,
yeah.
Dates back to 1916. So again, they've even got good toilet facilities. I think that's brilliant. I really do. The other big thing is they've changed the atrium. And that also was a space, because again it had those 2 glass elevators.
It took up a lot of the room, didn't it?
They've redesigned it, a beautiful starburst Art Deco carpet in the middle. It's a lot more spacious, and it's got a much more of a relaxed kind of feel. It's kind of become a lounge or a venue in its own right now. She also got a complete repaint of the exterior, some technical enhancements as well, which we won't bore you with, but obviously all to do with the safety. And on that note, bearing in mind she is an ocean liner, so her hull is 40% thicker than a standard cruise ship. The great popular favourites such as the Library, the Commodore Club and Churchill's have just had some new upholstery, new carpet, but they've been kept largely unchanged because they are so popular, and I think the feedback they got, rightly so, was don't do too much with that. It's been really tastefully done, with a leaning to the past, but with a real modern touch. I think the feedback we're getting is absolutely incredible.
Phenomenal. All the staff, a lot of the staff went down last week, didn't they? Absolutely loved it.
They really did. What are your memories? Because we spent a couple of years on Queen Mary 2, didn't we? And
I think I didn't realise how historic the ship was until we actually started working on it. And when you walk around the Queen Mary, you've got all the posters, haven't you, in the whole area, which tells all the past famous stars. Marilyn Monroe, Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, that had all travelled on there. So that was something good. And it wasn't until you actually docked in the ports of call, where it doesn't matter if you're in a Royal Caribbean, a celebrity, biggest ships in the world. As soon as the Queen Mary comes in, everything stops. And I remember being in Melbourne for the inaugural sailing sail out. 50,000 people watched the sail out in the evening. And that's where the old hairs on the back of the neck, even now talking about it, you sort of remember it.
Yeah, no, an incredible ship, so many memories, and even in Hamburg, where she's had the refit, of course, there people get up at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, thousands of them, every time she arrives, lining the side to see her. So when you're a part of that, when you cruise with her, you feel special, you feel like you're a part of something. And I think that probably leads into the fact that the 2 most popular things that we'd recommend to do with Queen Mary 2 are a Transatlantic Crossing or the World Cruise.
Yeah.
Because they are so essentially Cunard, but they're so essentially also things that are done best with that particular ship.
I mean, to sail in from Southampton to New York to see the Statue of Liberty as you come in, and then what we now do, which is really, really popular, we package it up. So when you get off, you don't fly straight home. You do 3 or 4 days in New York. Then you might want to take the Amtrak up to Niagara, a few days in Niagara, and fly home from there. So that makes it sort of a 2-week package.
Or do a week's cruise in the Caribbean even.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then the other thing, as I said, is these world cruises where you can go around from Southampton to Southampton, but you don't have to do the whole of it, so not everyone can take 120 days off. So you might do sort of, Dubai back to Southampton, or do the Australia. Look, sailing on that ship, and again, I remember standing there saying, which ship do you work on? I went, I sail on that one there, and that's the Queen Mary. And that was the real highlight of it.
I mean, I had many of my friends and family travel with me on various ships that I worked on. All of them loved the Queen Mary 2 most, even though they thought they never would, because they thought it might be too
stuffy,
and of course it's not. Once you're on board, it's really, really not. They absolutely loved it. Okay, if you want to find out more about some of the cruises you can do on Queen Mary 2, then just click the link there. And we've come to the part of the show where, sadly, we've got to stop talking about the Queen Mary 2, because we're now going to say thank you to all the people that get in touch on a weekly basis. And remember, your feedback shapes this show, and we really do want as much feedback as you want to give us, so please get in touch. Now, thank you, first of all, to Andrew Parker, who, of course, last week was all about yachts, and he said, I'd love to yacht around the whole of Norway. So thank you for that, Andrew. There are certain companies, I'm sure, that will facilitate that. Get in touch. We've also had people commenting about the excitement coming up for this Queen Mary 2 refit video. Christina Slack said, can't wait to get on board Queen Mary 2, and Rosalind Jones saying she thinks she looks absolutely fabulous. And a big hello to Sophie, who's been in chatting to us about how she's can't wait to go to Flom on the Aurora. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. Now, if you do want to get in touch, then how do they do it?
They can do it on Facebook, YouTube. You can go to hello@planetcruise.co.uk, or check us out on the website. As I said, the website's got all the different cruises on there, very easy to search it, and I always say between one day cruise up to your world cruise, we can take you around the world. So give us a call in the office, we're waiting for you, and we'll get you booked on the right cruise for you.
Thanks very much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you next week for another exciting episode of Planet Cruise Weekly. Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys.